welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Wrestling X Pound Radio, WXR. Really?
In the morning.
Yay, there we go.
There it is.
I'm your host. I'm your host this week for this episode, Marcus Shadow. Joining me, of course, is the big cheese himself, Mr. James Phoenix, who's apparently gymming this podcast.
I'm right here, you know.
There he is. We have the stay-at-home dad gamer, Richter Hammer.
Hello.
And we have the Queen of Hearts.
Hey, everyone.
And hopefully popping in during this podcast sometime, the Fallen Angel, but that remains to be seen. Chris the Mole could not join us, as this is being recorded a little late for his schedule, so we just like to give a shout out to our good buddy the Mole and say, this goes out to you, bud. So, our topic of discussion this week, the Tag Team Division. What we think about it, what we think could be improved, past, present, future, all that good stuff. So, I'll open it up by saying that I don't think WWE's Tag Team Division has been all that great in its history. It certainly has some great tag teams, but the division as a whole, I think, has always been kind of weak. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that.
Pretty sure it wasn't weak when the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge of Christian were stealing the show on a weekly basis.
3 teams does not a division make.
Actually, yes. Yes, it does. Because it's not like they were the only 3 teams in existence. They were just the 3 popular teams.
They were the 3 good ones.
Yeah. But there were other teams in existence that they battled on occasion. I mean, you had Taka Funagi. You had
the APA.
The APA were
The
in there.
APA was good, yeah.
You had, I guess the Radicals were more a faction than they were a tag team. Let's see, who else was around back then? You had,
Too Cool.
Too Cool was in there. You had, Test and Albert.
Job Squad.
The Job Squad, there you go.
Old School
Yeah.
Outlaws.
Yeah, the New Age Outlaws, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't that good in the ring. They were certainly charismatic, which I think is very emblematic of what WWE focuses on. But in the ring, they really weren't that good. I'm sorry to say, as much as I did like them.
Who are we talking about now?
The Outlaws.
Okay, just checking.
I never said they were good. I just said they existed. And there were enough good tag teams that carried the division and made it a strong division, despite some tag teams being subpar.
I suppose. I don't know. I guess I just never got the feeling from the time that I started that the tag team was ever strong. It was certainly decent, but I don't think it was ever good, the tag team division. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Certainly now, the tag team division kind of sucks. It says it all when the best tag team they have in the division is one they're pretty much constantly burying.
This is true.
Of course, of the Usos. Why WWE? Why don't you use them? They're the best tag team on your roster. I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts on the tag team division of WWE? Since we kind of went into that.
Yeah, nowadays it's definitely lacking is a too mild a term for what they're doing. They seem like they're trying to kill it, sadly. I actually do think it was pretty good back in the Attitude Era, just because there were lots of teams. Because to me, like having lots of variety, and they put on good matches. I don't know what else you'd want for it to be strong. They had plenty of teams and good matches. Nowadays, yeah, they don't even do them. I mean, they give a tag team, like they give the belt to just 2 random people they don't know what to do with, and they threw them together instead of like actual teams.
Well, what they do is they use the tag team belts to help to try to push guys that they want to elevate in the roster, but that they don't have any idea of how to do in singles competition.
Yeah, and I think that's the wrong reason to put the belts on them or anything. Because to me, the tag team division has always been about those guys that may not necessarily be able to make it on their own, but when they're, partnered with that specific person, they're both awesome. And that's what they excel at. And then, yeah, there's some that did excel at both, like Edge and Christian, you know, um, Bradshaw to an extent.
Yeah, but JBL was better.
Well, that's why I said Bradshaw to an extent, because as JBL, he excelled in singles competition.
Yep.
But again, to me, the tag team division has always been about highlighting those people who have their place in a singles roster, because they're just not good enough in one thing or the other. Be it in-ring ability, cough, Matt Hardy cough, or mic ability cough, Jeff Hardy cough. But when put together, they're the total package, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
If that total package is a box of drugged and fucked up crazy, yes.
Yes, Richter.
I was just gonna say that it should be like that, but I agree that they do use it to try and elevate people. It seems like they use the tag belts to try to elevate someone, like one person, and to get like mid card or something, let's say, and then they try to use the mid card to elevate people to the high one. It's like, well, I don't think everyone's goal should be try to get the heavyweight belts. Like you said, some people are really good in a team. You don't necessarily have to use each of the quote unquote lesser divisions as like a vehicle to get someone into the high ones. You can have just an amazing team and let the tag team be its own thing. It doesn't have to try and push someone every single time. It doesn't have to push one guy and we'll have him feud. So then he'll get over and then we can move him over. It just doesn't have to do that every time.
Right. Case in
It
point.
doesn't do it every time. Look at the Usos.
Yeah, I was about to say, case in point, the Usos, they're in singles competition. I'm sorry, they suck balls. But as a tag team, they are amazing. That's why they're the best tag team on the roster, because not only do they have amazing in-ring ability when they're together, but they work well as a team, which, I'm sorry, most of the tag teams in the current division are only together because WWE says they're together, or because they have the name recognition that WWE wants to use to push them, like you said, into the main event, which is like, no. If they don't work well together, don't put them together. With Rey and Sin Cara, as good as they are, I'm sorry, don't put them together just because they're both Mexican and wear masks. Seriously. That's not a good reason to put them together as a team, WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're putting together a random team, it should be to feed another team. Like
Right, or to feed a specific storyline, not to bolster the division.
Yeah. That shouldn't be a mainstay. It's like a one-up. Use a put together team like local talent. It's you just use it for a one-off thing. It's not to fill your ranks, basically.
Well, I like to add that on a rare occasion, using tag teams to push somebody can work.
Yeah.
It's not that it's a bad thing. It can't be done. I think they just do it too much. Because once in a while they do pull it off. Case in point, I am the tag team champions.
Yeah, no, it definitely does work. Sometimes I think, like you said, they just do it too often, and I think they view it as like pretty much every time they should use it for that, and I don't think they should if it's natural.
Yeah.
That is true. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, the Wyatts are actually a pretty good tag team on their own. Like Usos, they suck balls.
They're a stable.
I'm talking about Harper and Rowan.
Okay, then. I'm just saying, they're a stable, and the agreement was when we put this together, we were going to talk tag teams, not stables.
I know, but in pretty much every stable, there's at least a tag team component to that stable, which is valid. When we mentioned the New Age Outlaws, what are we going to deny them because they're part of DX?
DX doesn't exist right now except for them, and they were a tag team before DX, therefore it counts.
I'm pretty sure they didn't become a tag team until after they joined DX, but okay.
No, the New Age Outlaws existed before DX.
Yeah.
No, okay, fair enough. But yeah, Harper and Rowan aren't terrible. Now, where they fucked up was on the Shield, because I never once thought that Rollins and Reigns were a good tag team whatsoever. I was looking at it, I was like, no, Rollins and Ambrose should be the tag team.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But that's because that was before they realized, hey, Roman Reigns has talent, we can push him as a main event star. And I think, unfortunately, I think that will inevitably happen is the Shield will break, Reigns will move into singles competition, and the two of them will form a tag team, which may actually be a lot more effective for them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
I
think inevitably they will become single stars eventually, but I think they could have a very good run as a tag team before that inevitably happens.
Right. Well, I think they were trying to do something similar to what they did with Kane and Daniel Bryan, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is no Kane. And it ended up being Rollins being the one carrying the team, and I'm just like, yeah, this isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd also, since we're talking about current tag team division, I'd also like to bring up something that was said to me by Chris the Mole about a day or so ago. And this is an opinion off a dirt sheet, mind you, but it makes enough sense that I'd like to mention it. And that is, the writer said that he felt the reason the tag team division is in the state it's in right now is because the New Age Outlaws are the road agents for the tag team division, so therefore they wrote themselves in as the tag champs.
Mm.
And of course, being Triple H's butt buddies, Triple H had no problem with that.
Pretty much.
Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but again, I think it makes enough sense that it warrants at least mentioning and to see what you all think about that theory.
Mm.
Opinions?
Are
Comments?
they still friends with Triple H?
Pretty much.
Okay, because I remember when he went to TNA, Billy Gunn saying something about punching Triple H in the mouth if he ever saw him again. So I thought Triple H was like, oh fuck those guys.
Yes, but that was because he was required to as part of pretty much TNA. Pretty much is a written policy that says if you're going to work for us, you must mock WWE publicly on our show.
Okay.
Hence the creation of the Voodoo Kid Mafia.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so it was more.
Which,
I gotcha.
which of course had the initials of VKM intentionally
Yeah.
for that purpose. So basically, that was kind of a requirement, and maybe he meant it at the time. But as soon as they realized their TNA's prospects were shit and Triple H was offering them money, yeah.
All right, I'd like to interrupt really quick to say, welcome to Fallen Angel.
It's the fallen angel.
So yeah, you missed what I had just said, Fallen Angel, but I brought up the dirt sheet opinion of the fact that the tag team division is in the state it's in now because the Outlaws are the road agents for the tag team division, so therefore they wrote themselves in as the tag champs. So I was getting people's opinions on that. So what do you think?
Now I have my Easter chocolate. I'm happy.
Easter's not for a fucking month.
I don't give a shit. I work in a supermarket.
You're supposed to wait till after Easter and then buy the candy on fucking clearance and you can get a ton of it for like $5.
Hell yes. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, you should see the customers in our store. Holy shit.
Anyway, your opinion.
There gotta be some unique customers. I mean, that's a country where Woolworths is still in business.
Alright, so I don't think that they need the New Age Outlaws to be the champions.
No, but what do you think of that theory that the only reason they are champions is because they wrote it that way?
Well, Triple H and Vince would have to say yes.
Right, well, they're friends with Triple H, and so therefore Triple H had no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's any credence to that theory?
No. I'd say that they wrote it, but it'd have to be okayed by Triple H and Vince.
Right, but the point is that Vince lets Triple H do what he has to do, and Triple H would have approved it because they're his friends. So therefore, basically, Triple H told them do whatever you want with the tag division, and they made themselves a champions.
Yeah, that is the
Yeah, probably because they think the tag team division is currently shit and worth nothing.
Yeah, which is too bad because it's not shit, but there's actually a lot of talent in the tag team division, they're just not using it.
Basically.
Right, Baxter.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh god. Speaking of tag teams that never should exist.
Yeah.
That's just a stupid name right there.
Yeah, no kidding. So now that we've thoroughly exhausted that, let's go through and talk about who we feel
Shoot.
are good tag teams and terrible tag teams, and then talk about what we think makes a good tag team. So I guess I'll go first. I absolutely love the Hardy Boys, despite what they've become now. Because when they were in their prime, they were awesome, and they were the epitome of the tag team division. Again, two guys who, when going solo, probably couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag, but together they were awesome. Although Jeff Hardy did okay. I mean, he did, quote, earn the respect of The Undertaker, unquote, but still,
Mhm.
he kind of had no mic skill.
Have you not watched TNA?
No, I don't. And from what I understand, he's drugged out half the time, so yeah. Tag teams I think shouldn't exist. Ryback for one. That when they were the Paul Heyman guys, fair enough. But the instant Paul Heyman left, they should not have remained together. There was no reason, zero reason for them to remain together. My opinion. Um, so let's move on to Mr. Phoenix. Your best and worst.
Hmm. Well, I think best tag teams in terms of overall tag team ability are probably the three aforementioned teams: Dudley's, Hardy's, and Christian.
Mm.
All great. I would also throw a mention out to the fucking shit, brain not working. Uh, damn it.
Jericho. I know you're gonna say Jericho.
Jericho was good. Jericho was good. Wasn't what I was thinking of, but it worked.
Try the Wikipedia. Maybe that'll help.
No, the fucking the Mega Powers. That's it. I was going old school. Mega Powers.
Ah.
Because that's another instance where hey, we took two guys and we put them that word together, put them together, and it worked. Same thing with the what was it, the 2-man power trip, Austin and Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
That was good too. I like that one. Worst tag teams. Let's see. Right back, clearly. That's I'm sorry, but primetime players. Just no. They are respectively entertaining, but I think they are a couple of fun dudes. But I think that they're not being used as a good tag team anyway. They could potentially be good if given the opportunity. They're just not given the opportunity.
Nope.
Um,
Not anymore, especially since they broke them up.
yeah. Let's see other bad tag teams from the past. Good tag teams. Road Warriors. Throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see other bad tags. Remember what bad tag teams were there? Any tag team that ever involved the Great Khali.
Yeah.
That needs to be included.
Tons of funk.
Yeah, tons of funk. That was pretty bad. Well, that was fun for a short while. Then it got old very quickly. Trying to think what other bad teams. There's like a list of tag teams I can bring up that would be helpful.
Again, I
List powers
reiterate,
activate.
Wikipedia.
That's what I'm doing. Hang on.
All right. Well, while Jim is looking up stuff, Sad Gamer, Richter Hammer.
Okay. Good tag teams definitely, as was already mentioned, Dudley's, ENC, and Hardy Boys. Also, another one I thought was good was Brothers of Destruction.
Yes.
One I would have to go with one of my favorites. I'm going old, not super old, but Sandman and Tommy Dreamer. I thought they were good because I thought they were both actually good singles competitors, and they even had a rivalry at one point. So when they became a team, it seemed like it was founded on like that respect thing of like, oh well, they were rivals, but now they respect each other, and I thought they worked well because Tommy Dreamer, I think he's pretty good on the mic. Definitely better than Sandman.
Yeah.
But Sandman has that like awesome intro in ECW, so I don't think he needed to talk.
No, I was gonna bring up the point of, can Sandman really be considered that good? I think what it's starts to basically show up, assault people with a kendo stick, leave.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't actually
No,
wrestle.
he was not an amazing in-ring competitor. Although
No.
Rolling Rock, the fact that he could do it and not kill himself was probably the height of his skill.
To be honest, if we're talking Tommy Dreamer, I think he was better when he tagged with Sabu.
And also, to
Yeah.
be fair, Stone Cold Steve Austin made a career of showing up, not wrestling, and leaving.
No,
I thought that was Goldberg.
I think
That
Goldberg
was just a
wrestled more
WrestleMania
than
20.
Austin did, because Austin showed up, stunned someone, and left.
Well, no, Austin would wrestle to a point, because let's not forget, Austin can wrestle because Austin participated in what may be the single greatest wrestling match of all time against Bret Hart.
This is true.
Let us not forget this fact.
Yeah. But let me see, bad tag teams. I was never really big on the Bashams. I know that's scraping the bottom, but
I'm gonna throw in the same vein. I'm gonna throw out the Gemini.
Yeah. It's gotta be some. Yeah, definitely anything with Great Khali, because he.
Yeah.
As Jim
What about
said.
let's see.
There's gotta be ones I hated, and I just
I'm trying
can't
to think of what else.
There's the Fallen Angel. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wasn't too keen on Viscera with Midian. Like, I think Viscera was better singles. Not like, I mean, he wasn't like great or anything, but I think he was more entertaining singles than tag.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Does the Fallen Angel or Queen of Hearts have anything to add to good v bad tag teams?
Other than what's already been mentioned, Beer Money was a fucking awesome tag team.
They were a good tag team. They were.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. How about the Body Donnas?
Never heard of them.
What?
Does Richter remember the Body Donnas?
No, I don't.
Oh man, Skip and Zip, the Body Donnas. They were fitness fanatics.
Are they in any way related to Simon Dean?
They should be. No, they were no, but they were managed by Sunny when she originally debuted.
Okay.
Chuck and Billy.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
Basically, they were two good wrestlers with a terrible gimmick and a terrible tag team.
I loved Billy and Chuck. I thought that was a fun gimmick.
Billy and Chuck was kind of a fun gimmick, yes.
I like their theme song.
I will say it was also kind of offensive, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one I forgot. How about Deuce and Domino?
With Cherry, yeah.
With Cherry, that didn't.
They actually weren't terrible if you've ever actually seen them wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of them is a Snook. I would hope not.
Really?
Yeah. Domino.
Oh, that's right. Simpson.
Domino is Jimmy Snuka's adopted son, I believe, is the deal there.
Ah.
Yeah, I think he was last seen several years ago, failing to properly catch the Undertaker at WrestleMania and nearly killing him.
Ooh.
Because he was dressed as a cameraman for the purposes of catching the Undertaker during his annual suicide dive out of the ring, and he fucked it up.
Ouch.
Undertaker was fine, but it almost was a problem. What else?
How about Road Warriors, Bushwhackers?
I mentioned the Road Warriors earlier. The Bushwhackers, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you.
It's okay. Yeah, the Bushwhackers certainly. How about Road Warrior, Animal, and Heidenreich?
No.
Don't remind us.
Yeah.
Midnight Express.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about La Resistance?
That was an awesome tag team. I like that tag team.
They were pretty entertaining. I like that.
They were good. So now that we've basically Wikipedia'd this thing, what do you guys think makes a good tag team, and what do you think makes a shit tag team?
The
People who don't go together and people who do good together.
Yeah.
End of story.
the edge heads.
Oh wow.
Speaking of rated RKO, awesome tag team.
We're okay. I don't know. I think
Awesome intro if you put it to the Eminem intro. But
that was
No.
awesome. Yeah.
Eminem was out. No, Miz and John Morrison, one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
No,
They were awesome together.
no, they weren't.
Yes, they were. They were amazing. The Dirt Sheet is the greatest internet show of all time, except for the highlight reel when Jericho did that version.
Oh, I do not like the tag team, but I think WWE when they get it right, it's teams that either should be together, i.e., like like the Usos are brothers. You have the Bella Twins, they're sisters. People who just naturally you're like, yeah, they would work well together because of who they are. But then also, I think some of the best random teams to come about are teams where WWE realized that two people had chemistry together and did work well together. Case in point, Jericho. I mean, that's completely fucking random, but Jericho and Big Show worked well together. They had good chemistry. I think the problem right now is they're trying to force that chemistry with people they want together, and it's not working.
Yeah.
You know, the tag team champions should be R-Truth and Xavier Woods.
I like that team. I think that works, and they have good chemistry together.
What would you call it?
The Mighty
Good
Morphin
question.
Power Rangers.
No.
Truthwood.
It's morphin' time.
Call them the Black Rangers.
It's morphin' time. What's up, Ranger?
Yeah. No. You call it Morph Up.
Morph. It's morphin' time.
Morph
It's
up. Morph
morph
up.
up.
Morph up. You better get with this. You get with that.
That up part does not sound like the word up. When you keep saying it like that, that doesn't sound like it. For some reason, it sounds like you're saying the word fuck.
You have a dirty ear.
Ah! Well, hey, I calls it like I sees it.
Mm-hmm.
Or hears it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Ron Killings is one of those superstars who works better with a tag team. I think he kind of blows solo, but in the tag teams he's been in, they've actually been really good tag teams.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
APA.
Yeah, like R-Truth
Yeah, the
and
Acolytes.
Miz. That was a
always
great
good.
tag team.
Good stuff.
The Bad Street Boys. That sounds corny. What?
The Bad Street Boys.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, fucking.
Hey,
How about the
sister.
how about the
There's
Meat
lots of
Street
action
Posse?
boys.
Isn't that a faction?
True. There were 3 of them. You're right. My apologies.
I don't think they ever competed in actual tag team division matches.
Okay.
It took them like several months to get finishing moves. No, I don't think they ever competed singly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
3-minute warning.
Faction.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, they were a tag team. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
those
right.
two
That was
dudes.
good. Oh, speaking
Rose
of
and Jamal, they were.
Hurricane and Rosie.
Superhero in training.
Yes.
Yeah, but they had Molly Holly.
Yeah, she was their.
She was a manager, but
Yeah.
she couldn't. Sort of a faction, I guess.
Hey, she was hardcore champ for all of like 5 seconds.
What about freaking Hurricane? Didn't he partner with Kane at one point?
I think so. Any
Kane
team with
did.
Kane
Yeah, that's
is a
right.
good team.
Because they were partners, and Hurricane got taken out, and Kane had to win the tag title single-handedly in that TLC match.
Yep, any team with Kane is a good team.
Pretty much, Kane is a master of working with other people and making them look good.
Well, it's because he doesn't want the titles, so he'll make anybody look good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he's awesome. He's one of the best superstars on the roster.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
But
Corporate Kane, really?
well, he's kind
Yeah, corporate Kane.
of. You mean Citizen Kane?
Ah.
The outside.
Oh, speaking of good tag teams, I've only seen a little bit of them online because I don't know the WWE app yet. We don't get the show over here on TV. But how about the Ascension on NXT?
I would like to see them.
They are awesome.
But I'd like to see the original Ascension.
Oh, the original one with the three dudes when freaking Ricardo was with them.
No, because one of them got let go or some shit.
Did he?
Mm.
Because I know at one point early on, Ricardo Rodriguez was in that faction.
Mm.
I thought the dude was
That
let
is
go, and then he
continuing.
came back, and they re-debuted them in NXT.
That's what I thought happened. Yeah. Find out the Ascension. Let's see.
But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about with the tag team division. To quote she who is listening in, it exists for now, but it's rapidly not going to exist
Mm-hmm.
because they're driving it into the ground. If they're doing what Richter said they're doing of using the tag team titles as a stepping stone to the mid card titles, which is a stepping stone to the main event, then yeah, that they've effectively buried the tag team, because the tag team division, the tag team belts have always been, to the best of my knowledge, at the same level as your Intercontinental or US titles. And it was a stepping stone, but it wasn't a stepping stone to those titles. It was a stepping stone the same as the Intercontinental and US titles of, anyone from the tag team could go on to main event if they were good enough, but it was to highlight what their strength was, which was working with others.
Mm.
Yeah. So in 2012, it was Conor O'Brien and some other tool.
It was Kenneth Cameron, Conor O'Brien, Epico, and Raquel Diaz.
Yeah, but now it is currently Connor and Victor
Yes.
because Cameron was arrested, so gone.
Okay then. He ascended to jail.
Yep.
Basically.
He joined Crime
being-
Time.
Yeah. Crime Time. That was an awesome tag team.
Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
It's ironic to think GTG is still fucking employed.
By some grace of God, yes.
That man is amazing. He has flown under the radar so well.
Yes. At this point, 90% of the internet is pretty sure he has some like illicit photos of Vince McMahon or something. But anyway, yes. Cameron was released after being charged with battery of a law enforcement officer and disorderly intoxication.
So he got drunk and beat the shit out of a cop. Good job.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Be a star, Cameron.
But no, I think WWE needs to get serious about their tag team division. They need to stop treating it like the redheaded stepchild and bring it back to what it was. Give it the luster and the I don't know, prestige that it once had. And for God's sake, get rid of those horrendous belts. That's another thing that killed the division is, yes, this is what we think of you, tag team division. We're giving you pennies for belts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that doesn't scream you're fucked, I don't know what does.
Nor do I.
We made him bronze because we think you're third place.
Well, in all fairness, they did the same damn thing when they made the ECW title silver. I know, platinum. Yeah, bullshit. It was a silver belt.
Yeah.
However, I will say, of all, that belt was hideous as shit for everybody that held it, except Mark Henry. Mark Henry made that belt look good.
Because he's that black?
Either that or because he's that big, one or the other.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys agree or
Why does
disagree
everything
about.
keep coming back to black?
I don't know if you guys agree or disagree that they need to get.
You know what they
serious
say,
about
Tiff?
it,
Once
but-
you go black, you never go back. So
Yeah, I guess.
you should know, being half black yourself.
I know.
Wow, is this called lagging or something?
No, why?
No, we're just cutting you off because our conversation is more interesting.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. no, I think we're all pretty much in agreement that either WWE needs to get serious about their tag team division and bring it back and stop using it as a red-headed stepchild and a stepping stone to a lesser important belt, or just get rid of the division altogether, because the way it is now, it's going to die. It's practically non-existent. Is
Well, I
that a
don't know.
fair
I
assessment?
think once they realize the Outlaws are fucking, I think eventually what they're gonna do is build the Outlaws as some heel and some face team will take it off them. They're not. The tag team titles, they can run well with. Like I said, between the Wyatts and the Shield, they weren't doing too bad with the belts per se. I mean, yeah, the Shield held them too long, but still, they've got some good groups fighting right now. The two of them, they've got the Usos in there, Goldust and Cody Rhodes. They've got some decent teams going right now.
See, the thing though, I think the Shield, I think they've gotten to the point now where they can bust them loose and let them go singles, because Rollins can certainly hold his own, Reigns can certainly hold his own. The only one that actually needs help is Dean Ambrose, because he's mediocre in the ring and completely sucks balls on the mic.
Agreement.
I disagree. He's actually pretty good on the mic. Sucks in the ring, yes. He's not terrible on the mic.
No, he always sounds drunk and high, or just not altogether there. And it's like, no, you got to enunciate your words, dude. Don't slur everything like a drunkard.
Matt Hardy V2.
Yes.
And I would like to point out that no, because Ultimate Warrior made a career of that. Has Ultimate Warrior ever been in a tag team? I feel like some tag team he's in should be mentioned here.
I don't know. I'd also like to point out Ultimate Warrior was better in the ring than Dean Ambrose could ever hope to be. So he made up for it.
but that's because Ultimate Warrior came out and was high on anything he could get his hands on in every match.
That, and did you ever really understand what the Ultimate Warrior was saying?
No, nobody ever did, and that's the point.
Exactly. But with Ambrose, you can understand what he's saying to the point where you know he's slurring his words and is probably piss-ass drunk.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
Well, fair enough, but Austin made a career out of that.
He didn't slur his words. He actually enunciated even when he was drunk.
No, he was drunk. He had a Texas accent, so it hid the fact that he was slurring his words.
That too, yeah. Fair enough. That's true too. Yeah, I'd like to see the Shield go into singles competition after they myrtleize the Wyatts.
I think that will happen. I think that will happen. I think it'll work. Although I think the Wyatts are certainly going places too. I think Bray Wyatt at the very least. The other two, I would say if the other two work on their in-ring skills a little bit, they could pull it off. It'd just be one of those quiet tag teams that doesn't do too much promo. I think the two of them work on their in-ring skills and stick them with an effective manager, you'll be gold.
That's why they have Bray Wyatt.
Well, right. I'm just saying, if they wanted to make him a solo superstar not involved with them,
right?
Once considering they're pretty much headed toward the breakup now, give them Zeb Coulter. That would be perfect.
That'd be interesting.
What needs to here's what needs to happen right now. Jack Swagger needs to go away and never be on TV again.
And take Cesaro with him.
No. He needs to go away and never be on TV again. Zeb Coulter needs to go manage the two dudes from the Wyatt family so Bray can be a single star. And Antonio Cesaro needs to be a Paul Heyman guy.
Well,
I don't understand the Real Americans, though. They talk about being Real Americans, yet they have Cesaro on the team.
The
Isn't
Coulter
Cesaro
addressed
kind of foreign?
Zeb Coulter addressed that when he joined the faction, that Cesaro was a foreign, but he understood what it meant to be a true American. Having watching from the outside and having made the appropriate legal immigration journey, he understands what it's like to live the American dream and to truly go through the American dream from that perspective and believed in America, so he fit the faction. But anyway, I think Antonio Cesaro, he's got a future. He's got skills in the ring. He just can't talk. Give him Paul Heyman, he can go way far.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Paul Heyman.
I think even Paul Heyman has limits. I don't.
Yeah.
Because he just talks and talks. He's just full of hot air.
That's the point, though.
Yeah. I think there's a reason Paul Heyman walked down on Ryback.
It's just annoying, Paul Heyman.
Yes, because they suck, unlike Cesaro, who can at least actually wrestle, unlike either of those gentlemen.
I'll give you that.
I don't know. I think Curtis Axel can wrestle if you give him a chance, but they never let him do anything.
Not really, because they gave him a chance when he premiered, and he had Mr. Perfect's music, and everybody was all hyped, and then it went fucking nowhere because he sucked in the ring against everybody he stepped in there with. At least with Ryback, I can say, okay, he could at least power wrestle to some extent or another. He can at least throw a dude around for 5 minutes and make it look halfway convincing.
And then break
Axel
his
can't-
neck by fucking up.
Exactly. Axel can't even do shit. You know what I really want? What I want more than anything, if somebody wants to do one thing to make me happy,
What's
take
that?
Ryback off TV,
Yes,
and
please do.
and then about 6 months later, bring back Skip Sheffield. Skip Sheffield was
Yes.
a great fucking character. I miss him.
Yeah.
Yep. What it do? That catchphrase would be bigger than yes. That's a great catchphrase.
It is. Yeah. I don't know what they
Oh,
were thinking with Ryback.
speaking-
I think they were trying
I don't know.
to recapture his previous character, which I heard was supposed to be really good, but yeah,
Well, that's what they were booking him as like the Terminator or something. I heard
yeah,
something like that.
which would be interesting. I would have loved to see that, but no,
Yeah.
they just made him a bull.
By the way, speaking of tag teams that should have been awful but were actually good, Jesse and Festus.
I won't necessarily say they were good, but they were interesting, and it was a good gimmick.
They were entertaining, and that's what counts.
True.
You're ringing the bell, Festus went, oh, and he beat people up, and it was awesome. Biscuits and gravy. Also awesome theme music.
Also, a tag team that never should have been put together, although I guess technically you could consider them a faction. 3-man band.
In all fairness, I give credit to the 3-man band for being on TV week in and week out and getting a paycheck for doing very little. I credit them for that.
I mean, it was a good concept, but just poor Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre's better than that, but like, to be honest, I think Heath Slater can at least halfway wrestle given the opportunity. He just usually isn't. I think if Heath Slater were allowed to be a little more of a cruiserweight style dude, I think he could be really good in the ring. I didn't see but pre 3MB, I did not see enough of the what
Wendy.
the hell's his name? Yeah, no, the other guy.
Jinder Mahal?
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't see enough of Jinder Mahal pre that to determine whether he was good in the ring or not, because he was on SmackDown most of the time, and I don't watch it that much.
He's the poor
But-
man's Muhammad Hassan. That's all you need to know.
I'm aware of that. I'm just saying, in terms of his official wrestling ability, I don't know if he was any good or not. But I think Wendy actually has some semblance of wrestling talent, and we know McIntyre can wrestle. And I think that they could make something if they were to drop Mahal. I think they could make something out of Wendy and McIntyre of some kind or another. If they wanted what they need to do, if they wanted to make good, take Wendy and McIntyre, team them. If anything, you want a new 3MB, drop Jinder Mahal and give him Justin Gabriel. Because then you'd have McIntyre's doing physical shit, doing suplexes and shit on the mat, doing the mat wrestling. Wendy's doing a little bit of that mixed striking, that fast bounce around guy, and then you got fucking Gabriel going off ropes with 450 splashes and shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
but-
working under the assumption that WWE wants to make them a legitimate tag team or threat.
No, I am. I'm just saying they could potentially be good if WWE wanted to go that route. That could work well.
They
Although
could.
from what I remember, if I recall correctly, I think Justin Gabriel was already in a tag team with somebody.
Well, not surprised.
Showing up on like Superstars and shit. I want to say he was like with like Zack Ryder or something.
Again, would not surprise me.
No. It was way better than that. It was Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd.
Okay, that's a good team. I want to see that team.
They were the two. I think they were like wrestling on like Superstars or something.
That could be an amazing team if they have any kind of chemistry whatsoever in the ring.
Yeah, I remember that happening. That's what you want to do. That take that. Take Justin Gabriel, Tyson Kidd, and put Drew McIntyre with them. They're the new 3MB. Let Heath Slater just be their manager that talks on the mic, because Heath Slater can talk.
No. What you do?
That's all.
What you do is you take Gabriel and Kidd, you put them together, you give them Natalia as their manager, and you bring around the second coming of the Hardy Boys. That's what you do.
There you go.
Because if they're good together in the ring, they could be on the levels of the Hardy Boys, because they have the talent to do that.
I think it'd be better than the Hardy Boys because they'd probably be sober.
Yeah, and also Tyson Kidd would already be married going into the tag team.
Mm-hmm. This is pro. Oh my god.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I want to
Okay,
see
that's
that
it.
team wrestle.
Yeah, I know. The problem is now you said that. So now I'm seeing that team form. They're doing all this awesome stuff. They're being a faction, all kinds of awesome shit.
Mhm.
And also, when you see them win a match, they're going back to draw happy over the locker room door, and there's Natalia with Edge.
That would never happen. Not in a million years.
Oh boy. Okay, well this topic's probably dragged on long enough.
It has.
I feel like I should state for the record, though, from things I looked up here, according to Bleacher Report, which is usually a fairly accurate wrestling website, the worst tag team champions or general tag teams in WWE history, no, the number one on the list. Any ideas?
No.
John Cena and every partner he's ever had.
Wow.
So there you go.
See, I don't know about that because I think John Cena and who did he team up with in the Nexus? Was it D Young? John
no,
Cena and
that
Black
that
Cena?
would that he
His
can't.
brother from another mother.
No, he can't do that because that would be like matter touching antimatter. It would destroy the universe.
Because I can't remember. He tagged with someone and they won the tag champs, and I thought that was actually a decent tag team.
Oh, I want to say it was the lawyer. Oh my God, David Otunga. Wasn't it him?
Was
or
it
no?
Otunga? Oh, might have been. Back when Otunga was actually interesting? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they fucked
Wait,
it up
what?
and made him a lawyer and made him boring.
he was interesting. Oh,
Oh, well, Cena kind of made him interesting, but I thought that was a decent tag team, and I thought they had a good storyline going there, and then they fucked it up.
Let's see here. He teamed won the titles with Batista. They do. Oh, how about Legacy? They were a great tag team. I'll forget them. So basically, you said he teamed with Batista and killed all the momentum that the Legacy had, which was one bad thing. Back at WrestleMania 23, there was the whole Cena and HBK win the tag titles despite being rivals thing,
Mm-hmm.
because they like to do that shit.
Yeah, usually
he won the
Cena
title.
teaming with anyone is a bad idea, but I thought it worked with Otunga.
Yeah, he teamed with Otunga. They won clean via submission in less than 7 minutes before flattening Otunga and leaving with both belts. Following night, Barrett forced Otunga to lay in the middle of the ring to allow Heath Slater and Gabriel to assume control of the titles.
Yeah, and see, I thought that was the one instance where teaming Cena with someone actually worked. Until they completely ruined it.
Then he did the same thing where he teamed with The Miz on that whole we're feuding but have to get stuck with the tag titles reluctantly because that's entertaining thing when they fought the Slater and Gabriel again. This time they were part of the core.
Yeah. Just,
that didn't work too.
I think probably the first one or two times they did that where they have two people teaming even though they're rivals to force them to work together. Okay, novel idea, interesting. It works depending on who you do it with, but the fact that they do it all the time is like, it's like, no, it's old now, and especially with Cena, it's like, because whoever Cena teams with doesn't matter because Cena's always gonna win, and it's just like no.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it all comes back, and in all honesty, the biggest reason that doesn't work is because of how they book Cena, because you know how they're gonna book Cena, so therefore you know the outcome of that match.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about booking of Cena. That's for another podcast. We're going to talk about the booking of the tag team today.
It's the exact opposite of the booking of Cena. Because they never win. Tag team division is going down the shitter.
Oh,
and making the Outlaws the champs not helping. Not at all. Also, am I the only one who's disturbed by Billy Gunn's hair? Or lack thereof. Road Dogg got it right. He cut off his hair and he's got more of a military crew cut, but Billy Gunn, for whatever reason, when he decided he was going to become tag champs again with Road Dogg, decided to grow out his hair and look like a poor man's Hogan. And it doesn't work. I'm sorry.
In all fairness, at this point in time, isn't Hogan a poor man's Hogan?
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's also kind of sad when Dolph Ziggler can do Billy Gunn's moves better than Billy Gunn can.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about that. I depends on your definition of good. If you mean entertaining looking, yes. If you mean can they be done without nearly killing yourself, I'd give the point to Billy.
I don't know. I think Dolph's Famouser looks better than Billy Gunn's, to be honest.
Well, he's younger and he can jump higher. Of course it does.
Yep. But anyway, I think we've exhausted this topic.
Yes.
So, we'd like to hear from our viewers out there, what little viewers we have. comment below. Hit us up on the board. We've just newly revamped the board, and we're expanding. So take a look at that. We've got videos, podcasts, written things. Those 3 sections will expand. I'm sure Richter Hammer will expand the written section, as that is his domain now.
Yo.
And I'm sure Marcus Shadow and his cohort Chris Duvall will expand the podcast section, as that is their area now.
Indeed. Once we actually find a suitable host for said podcasts, for the time being, it will be right here on the YouTube channel. But we are looking to go into an audio-only channel, so that should be fun. And then, of course, we have Mr. Phoenix and the listening in, ever-present, because she exists, Geeky Girl, managing the video sections. So be on the lookout for that. We'd like to hear from you. I'd like to thank James Phoenix, Richter Hammer, the Queen of Hearts, and Fallen Angel, about partway through, for joining me. This look at the tag team division and what we'd like to see happen with it. So until next time, take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.